Welcome to the start of another project vlog. In this vlog, I'll be making the Sardine Sweater by Sweater Weather Ceramics with this yarn. The yarn first is Cascade Yarn's Noble Cotton in the color 61 called Deep Sea Coral, which I'll be using for my main color. And for my contrast color, I thought I'd be using this, which is Pearl Soho Buttercup Cotton, which has since been discontinued, in the color Heirloom White. But I just measured it and I only have 52 grams of this yarn, and I think I needed around 74 for the yardage to hold it double, and I think held single it'll just be too thin against the Noble Cotton. So my plan is that today is the 1 year anniversary of Tea Cozy Yarn Shop being owned by Emily, and so I'm planning on going around noon. It's currently 7 a.m. I'm planning on winding this yarn up and then going to Tea Cozy and picking out a yarn a white cotton yarn that will match the thickness, the gauge of the Noble Cotton. The Noble Cotton I picked up from Needle and Hooks, also a local-ish yarn store to me, I guess. It's a bit more up north, but they have a lot of Cascade yarns, and they have some superwash, they have the cotton, they have so many different colors of this. So I picked it up then during the LYS Puget Sound yarn tour. You can see all that in the video that I uploaded. All that to say, I have my yarn winder and I'll be winding this yarn up and getting this project started. And I decided to just make the sardine sweater first. I was debating on making the sardine sweater versus the Stockholm slipover for my mom, but I think that'll have to be the next project. So I will wind this up and we can get started. I finished the yoke before the Colorwork starts, and so I'm going to head to Tea Cozy now. It's 11:40, so I should be there just as they open at noon, and I'm really excited. I will be buying the white yarn because I said before that I wanted to maybe add white or yellow in for the sun if I run out of the white yarn, but then I thought about it and I don't want triple yarn floats on my body in a summer fabric. And this is 100% cotton yarn, so you can see some of the places where I increased, and I think it's just a little less forgiving, but I hope that the Ladderback jacquard won't show through. It should be fine. Even if it does a little bit, it'll just add to the whole color workness of it all. Yeah, they're so beautiful. We just got back from Tea Cozy Yarn Shop, and this is my fit. I forgot to mention that I am wearing the Colette tee by Sari Nordland, and I have a project vlog on this, which I'll definitely link below. I love how this fits. I'm wearing it with this Uniqlo skirt, and I have a, what is it called? A rattan bag? I can't remember what it's called, but one of the bags with the raffia. I think that's what it's called, the raffia bag. So at Tea Cozy Yarn Shop, because it was the 1 year anniversary, they had like an event where you could spin the thing. I'm sure you saw the B-roll. And Betsy got stitch markers that my daughter picked. And so got that, as well as I got the loose stitch marker, and I'll probably add this to a lobster clasp or something so that we can use it. But my daughter wants to hold on to those. Other things that I got are the skein of yarn that I really wanted. This is Junie and Sai, and it's called Always Look on the Bright Side of Life, and this is the one that was inspired by the mural in Ballard that Emily's kids were in front. So I won't share that because her kids obviously, but the color is so beautiful. And I got the cotton worsted weight yarn, a white one. I think this will be enough. I think I need around 130 yards for my size. This has 185 yards, so it'll definitely be enough. And so this is a worsted weight, the Queensland Collection Coastal Cotton in the color Vanilla. And so I think that it'll be perfect to pair with this, and I can't wait to get started doing the color work. As you know, it's my favorite part, and I was looking at some of the ones that were more variegated, but I thought that just for color work, I wanted it to have a really sharp, bright contrast. So it is still the same day. I just changed because we were eating lunch and we were having shawarma with the yellow rice and I didn't want that to dye my kalati, and so I changed top and bottom. These aren't pajama pants, these are outside pants, but it looks like pajama pants. I don't know, they're from my mom. But anyway, just to say that I did start the color work portion. It is on both our cotton, so you can kind of see that it doesn't fill in the gaps as well. I think it should be okay just to wear as a nice summer t-shirt. And I am doing ladderback jacquard right here. And overall, I'm really enjoying it. I put it on longer cords. I think these are 22-inch cables with the 4-inch tips. So that'll be 30 inches in circumference. And one thing is I should have pulled from the middle of this because it's really hard to pull from just the outside of the bulb. Good morning. It's my first super early day in a while. It's currently 5:30 and my daughter's up, so we're up. But I did this much yesterday. I'm excited to do more today. I have done two of the ladderback jacquards, and so I have to add in the last one. I'm on the row where I'm adding in. And this is what the fish looks like so far. It is looking kind of, you can see the increases as well as, you can't really see the ladderback jacquard places, which is good, but definitely 100% cotton. Don't know if that was the choice to do, but it's happening. And I wouldn't recommend this pattern, as it says in the pattern, for beginners of color work, just because I think if you work to catch your floats, then you'd definitely be able to see it in some places, and then you'd have to catch quite often, so you'd be twisting your yarn quite often. Or if you were to do ladderback jacquard, I think it might be a little harder to understand if you are just starting out color work. However, if you're an adventurous beginner, then I'll go for it. But this is what it currently looks like, and I love the contrast. I'm here with Maddie. We're going to go to Yarn Dragon factory store opening today, so just thought I'd pop this in here. Just got back from hanging out with Maddie and June, and I loved hanging out with both of them. And we were at the Yarn Dragon factory store, had some Vietnamese food, and then walked around Pioneer Square for a little bit before coming back. At Yarn Dragon, I didn't get any yarn because I didn't see that anything that I would need. And so I just picked up the Chagos, and these are just fixed cables, and they're the 80 centimeter ones. So I got the 4mm to work on my sardine sweater in case I wanted to put on fixed instead of the interchangeable needles that I have now. I also picked up the Pacific Knitco Garden Doodle card deck, and it has some flowers on it, and I want to give this as part of my prize for the Flower Power Mouse. So if you haven't joined us, please join us, and I'll have all the information. 잠깐만. I'll have all the information for that linked below. Before I forget, I'm wearing the Couture top by Sari Nordland, and I was wearing this today. My mom said that she really liked it, so I think I'm just gonna give this to her, and then I'll change into something that's a little more kid-friendly for now. Something is not adding up in my color work where the just the sun isn't in the center, and I think I messed up somewhere down below, like 4 or 5 rows below, so I'm just going to rip everything out until that point. I didn't even bother. I tried doing a little bit, but then I think because it has ladderback jacquard and that goes behind, it's hard to catch that from the front side. So I think I'm just going to rip back until that point and then just kind of see what I can fix and what I can't, and we'll deal with it then. But I think right now I'm just going to rip back and then we'll see. I just picked up from where I ripped back, and now I can go back into the round, and I'm excited. That took a lot less time than I think thinking back individually would have. It only took me, I think, maybe less than 10 minutes. So I'm happy to be at this point and going forward, even though I did lose a little bit of progress, it's not that big of a deal. Good morning. I am almost done the Colorwork section. So I think I only have maybe 8 to 10 more rows to go. I have to finish up the sun and the tail portion of the sardines, but it's looking very vibrant and I like how it looks. Definitely my colorwork tension is quite loose compared to just my regular knitting. You can tell where I was knitting versus the colorwork, but I'll have to do, I guess. And I can't wait for it to block out. I'll definitely be able to split for sleeves today. I think you split right after you do the color work, if not very soon after. So I'll do the 2 sleeves first today, which shouldn't be too much because they are short sleeves. And then I'll continue on in the body. And if everything goes well, this should be done by tomorrow. I had one place that I had to trap my floats as well, and that's where the sun is one straight line right here. I caught my floats on both sides at the end here. I don't know if you could tell here. That's where I trap my floats of the main color. Otherwise, the Ladderback jacquard is always in the contrast color. So it looks pretty messy, but hopefully with blocking, everything will kind of just stretch out and relax. I just finished my first ball of the main color right here. And so I'll just add in the next ball, but I think I only have 6 more rows to go. I finished up the sun and I am working on the fins right now. And so everything's going good. Well, the progress is good, and so I'll continue. I've split for the sleeves and now it's looking really good. It's looking actually like a t-shirt. I'm not going to finish this ball before I start the sleeves. I have another ball right here, so I'll use this to do the sleeves and then I'll probably finish this ball doing the body. I think I'm going to do a few more rounds under the sleeves so that I have something more substantial when I pick up the stitches down here. So maybe I'll do 1 inch before I do that. I think it's looking really nice. What I do is the sun is looking okay, but then the ones maybe that I haven't stretched out on the back, it's looking kind of weird. So I just like to kind of massage it into place, and then any of the stitches like the ones on this side that are kind of stretched out weird, I just go into the back and I make sure I pull on the yarn a little bit and I kind of massage it into place so that it looks maybe a little bit less funky. I also tried on the arms just like this, and I think the armpit depth is pretty good, so I don't have to worry about that. I'll probably try it on for sure once I get just more work on the body. The sleeves, I'm good at any length after this point, so I don't think there's a need to put that on right now. Just did the first sleeve and now I'll work on the second. Oh, and you can see some of the places where I caught my Ladderback jacquard. We pull on it a little bit, you can kind of still see it, but it's okay. I finished the sleeves, just short sleeves, but it still took around 17 grams of yarn to do both sleeves. And I love how the sun sits in the middle and then a fish sits in the middle of the back. I think the sleeves fit really comfortably. There is quite a bit of room there, and I'm going to just work down the body. So after Maddie, who test knit this, my friend by Thread Knits, in her most recent video, she said that the fish sit at the armpits, and I can't unsee it. However, I do like how the sun sits at the side. And then my friend Kat, who comes to Knit Night, she's, I think, Salmon Knits on Instagram. I'll have her handle, but she's also super, like, a really experienced knitter, and she's really great at knitting socks on double pointed needles, but she knits a lot of colorwork socks with really intricate designs, and she's just a great fiber artist. She crochets really nice things too. My kids, we are going to head out to my sister's place right now, but Kat also test knit this, and on her I've never noticed anything about the fish placement or the sun, so maybe it's just a me thing after Maddie talked about it, but I can't wait to see it blocked out too. Hopefully some of the squiggliness will go away, but this is where all the increases happen, so it kind of makes sense that there's just more here, and then whereas the fish looks really clean, and then it's just pretty squiggly here because of the make one rights and the make one loves. But I think it's fine when you look at it from a far enough distance, and I'm really happy I decided to make this. So I'm going to head out, just work down the body. Today is Monday and I will be going to Knit Night today, so I'm excited to take this as well there. Good morning. It's another early morning, 4:30 wake up, but it's currently 5:30. I have completed this much and I'm currently at the cropped length. It's basically 7 inches from the underarm down. So I think I'm going to go for the full length version and do the full maybe 9 inches. It's moving really quickly. Yesterday I was able to get so much knitting done at midnight, so I'm really happy and I will continue. I just finished and I'm about to block this, and I forgot to mention that I had this really cute stitch marker progress keeper on my outfit, but it's done. Definitely needs some blocking to even out some of the stitches, but it's cotton, so I don't expect it to completely lay flat or anything. I don't think there's any puckering because my floats are very long. It's just that it's looking quite bulky because it hasn't been blocked yet. So the sardine sweater is now completed. It's still a tiny bit damp, but it's raining outside today, or it's quite damp outside anyway, so it doesn't really matter, I guess. I love how the sun lands in the middle, as I said before, and the fish is also in the middle. The yoke is slightly deep, but it's not too bad considering that it is a round yoke. And I think I could have even gone down a size for this sweater, but I think it also has to do with the fact that I didn't make it a long sleeve sweater. It made it a t-shirt, as well as my color work in general is slightly loose compared to, I think, other people where they have the opposite problem where their color work is tighter. And I used, as I said, the recommended needle size, so a US 6, a 4mm needle, and I went down a ribbing size from what's recommended. So for that, I use a US 4, a 3.5mm needle, and I like that the ribbing it's not cinching in, but it's also not flaring out. So I think that was the right call for myself. The sweater has some German short rows, which I think really helped the fit of it. I'll pan you down to show you the whole fit. It's pretty gloomy out, and that's why my lights are on. So it might be turning out a little more orange than what you see, but it is quite a deep sea coral. It's a pretty corally reddish orange color. And I put it in a full length. So this is 9 inches before. The ribbing is only 5 rows. So a tiny bit of ribbing, and you can see where it blocked it and how deep the yoke is here. You can kind of see my armpits. The sun is in the back. This one does fold over because of just where it sits on my armpits, but the Ladderback jacquard, you can see some of the places where I did the knit two togethers, and the increases you can also kind of see, but I saw the model photo and you could also kind of see this on her as well. So I think that's just a feature. It's a feature, not a bug. But overall, I think that it looks great. The color work is quite well placed out and I'm really liking it. I don't really have much to say on it other than that it was a very, very fun color work sweater for me. And because it is on a worsted, DK to worsted weight gauge, the body went by so quickly. I used 2.5 balls of yarn for this for the main color. And I think I forgot to show it, but this is where I had to switch out for my third ball right here. So I did need around 50 grams of the third ball. And for the contrast color, I think I used around 2/3, so around 65 grams of it, and had 180 yards to it. So that would be around 120 yards, I think. And so that was what was called for in the pattern. So that was perfect. And I'm really happy that I made it and that it's a really nice summer sweater. Although it's quite gloomy today, I think it's really nice to bring the sun out, bring some sun into Seattle. This is so weird, but I'm wearing this inside out so that I could show you the Ladderback jacquard and what it looks like on the inside. And what it does is almost creates like a rib cage. And so this is a double fabric. And so you don't see any of this on the right side. Here is where the sardine is. And then this is where the Ladderback jacquard is. And then you have the sun right here. So I hope that this provides a little bit more of a visual explanation if you were kind of curious about ladderback jacquard, or what it does is it also provides a little more stretch, so you don't have to worry about puckering as much. Overall, I like this technique, but I have to say that it's not mindless. For me, if I had the choice, then I wouldn't use ladderback jacquard, but for this pattern, it definitely makes sense to use ladderback jacquard as they suggest, and I would highly recommend doing so. And I think that the pattern, because it gives you the places of where to start and finish, it makes it so easy. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this project vlog. I really enjoyed making the sardine sweater. I love a good Fair Isle color work, and I'm sorry, my daughter is with me. I am backed into a corner. And I think that that's everything I want to touch base on this. In this season, in the summer season, I knit mosaic color work in Tarja as well as Fair Isle, and I have to say it's always nice coming back to Fair Isle. And I hope you enjoyed this vlog. If you can, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will definitely see you in the next one. Thank you. Bye.